you getting ready for your first trip to labor and delivery? I'm Doula Terry. Give me a follow, find me on the other socials. Let's talk through just a few important highlights. The first thing to know is that, in my experience, you happily are going to the labor and delivery floor. You are going to a part of a hospital that is not the part where sick people go. So that's great. Keep that in mind. I think that's really helpful because hospitals can feel intimidating. And once you get to that labor and delivery environment, you are typically taken to the area that is triage. Triage is just where they're going to evaluate you and hopefully be like, oh my God, Terry, you're in labor and you're so dilated. Let's get you a room. At least in New York, we can sometimes wait a while in the waiting area. We can be in that triage area, which could be a semi-private area or small private rooms. And there will be some evaluating there. Then when you're being admitted, you are going to your private labor and delivery room. And this all happens in that same area of the hospital called labor and delivery. One of the things that I think people really don't expect is that there's actually quite a bit of alone time for the expectant parents during the labor and delivery. The machines they use to monitor you and the baby mean they can watch the baby's well-being, your well-being from anywhere on the floor, from other labor and delivery rooms, from their central desk. And that means that you're alone a lot, and people get pretty flipped out by that. So one of my biggest suggestions if you're going to a labor and delivery environment is to just make sure you understand if we're going to be left alone, how do we know we're safe? How do we know what to do? Get familiar with the button you push to call for assistance, to ask your questions, to find out how they're monitoring, why they're monitoring you that way, and why you can feel safe to be alone. And that can be nice, actually. If you can relax into the lack of strangers coming into your room all the time, you could actually kind of enjoy the labor together as a family and have some kind of intimacy around this time together instead of worrying, why is no one here? Why is no one here? And here, again, in New York, it is my experience that once you deliver and meet your baby and birth your baby, within an hour or two, you are moved to the postpartum unit. And the postpartum unit is a separate area of the hospital, and that may not be true for all of you, but that is typically what happens in a lot of the environments here. And if you've had a vaginal birth, the insurance company is required to pay for 2 nights, but you don't have to stay more than 24 hours if you don't want to. And for a cesarean, it's usually 3 nights, sometimes 4. That's a quick overview for you.